Hey guys, welcome to another video. We're looking at two matches today between Firstkiller, who's right now ranked 4th in the world, 2nd for North America, and iRicky, who's right now at 17th. Firstkiller hasn't been active in the competitive one scene recently, but he has been putting in the ranked games, so it's going to be interesting to see just how well he's playing against currently one of the best show match and competitive ones players in North America in iRicky. Anyway, let's get into game number 1. So here we go, Firstkiller in the Octane. iRicky likewise. iRicky's a player who has played Octane, he's played Fennec, he's been switching it up quite a lot when he does play ones in competitions. Firstkiller, pretty much always an Octane player, although I'm sure he could be good at other cars if he felt like it. He's never really had the need to switch things up. Lovely early challenge there by iRicky. Spotted Firstkiller trying to slow play. And it is worth mentioning that before this game was played, these two did play 2 other games against each other, and they were both able to take 1 win. So we're looking at the 2 most recent games that these 2 have played after they've taken a couple of games off each other. Let's see who's going to come out on top in the ranked session. Love the positioning from Firstkiller there. He backs off, didn't want to lunge in unnecessarily. There was no reset available for iRicky until the very last second potentially, and then Firstkiller could see exactly what was coming his way. iRicky hook shot off a bounce dribble, sets himself up for another straight down the middle, but that's not the best placement. In fact, Firstkiller is just going to smack that into iRicky's goal. And that's one of the problems you run into whenever you play against Firstkiller. If you give him a look at your goal from pretty much any distance, he is going to just hit the ball as hard as possible right into it. He's one of those players who can always generate maximum power, it would seem. And iRicky will absolutely feel like he should have had the lead there after a good early possession or 2. Here he comes again. The air dribble bump is actually going to result in a goal because Firstkiller didn't stay with the ball enough. And, you know, he stayed away from the bump, but you need to at least put yourself a bit more close to danger if you're going to get a save. He will get the lead right back with a kickoff goal. But overall, I think iRicky looking pretty good. He's had the majority of the possession. And although Firstkiller is known as one of the best defenders, one of the best goalkeepers in the world, he'd still rather not be there. He'd still rather not have to be defending against iRicky, especially with the playstyle that iRicky likes to utilize. Not an all-in player. He does tend to stay relevant after shooting, so that he can take lots of shots one after another. And that is just brilliant from iRicky. Fakes a 50-50, loops around for the demo, and there's the equalizer. And this is another case where Firstkiller hasn't looked entirely comfortable in defense against Ricky, because he's just such a tricky player to go up against. And now Firstkiller returns the favor with a fake 50-50. Doesn't want to flip into the ball there, just wants to try and keep it under his control. No reset yet, that's about to change. Oh my goodness, what a shot that would have been. Firstkiller denied by the top corner, but he'll loop back around and take the lead again, and that was from midfield play. No counter-attack, no kickoff needed. The first goal for Firstkiller out of the center of the field. It's something that you really can't allow Firstkiller to do, is just dominate the possession. And here's iRicky, oh my goodness. The reset over Firstkiller's challenge. You know, I don't mind the Firstkiller challenge there. He's, you know, kind of dove in, made an early play on the ball, but you have to do that on occasion, or else you're at the mercy of a player who's as mechanical as Ricky is. If you give him all the space and all the time that he wants, he will score on you. Firstkiller not giving him any space on this play. You'll notice that he's accelerating away from the ball as quickly as he can after putting himself right next to it, because he knows that the flick is being threatened and he's got to start moving sooner rather than later. Oh, what control. Firstkiller doesn't even need a finishing touch, it's in already. Little pass to himself off the sidewall. Ricky grabbing the boost in the corner, gave Firstkiller space to shoot. And now the double wave dash recovery on the kickoff will lead, I think, to another chance for Firstkiller. Smart bump after both players are making a run to the ball. Another very nice bump there by Firstkiller. He doesn't need to do this, he could just play for the boost steal, but he knows if he goes for the boost steal there, iRicky will probably get the ball, so it might as well bump him, take the boost, and then you also get the ball as well. He's always going for the maximum in every position, but iRicky's around him again and ties up the game again. What an interesting back and forth by these players. There's you know, clearly a difficulty defending against Ricky. Firstkiller knows that at some point he has to challenge, but he's left the shot completely uncontested here. And iRicky gets a freebie. But Firstkiller, he sometimes against some players will just go to his goal and say, what's your best shot? Let me see it. Because he knows that if he gets a save, he's likely to get a goal against a lot of players who are then out of position. iRicky doesn't end up out of position. The Firstkiller is definitely in position for this finish. Wave dash to get to the right side of the ball. You know, all of the difficulties, all of these awkward moments Ricky's putting Firstkiller in, Firstkiller can do the same to Ricky, and we've seen that plenty times this game already. Both players so difficult to defend against, and if I've got to pick one player out of these two who is the better defender, I'd have to go for Firstkiller. Ricky, he really needs to play such a smart game, never overextending and being clinical with his chances if he's going to be able to keep Firstkiller at bay. Look at Firstkiller's recoveries here. He's done a quarter rotation into a flip onto the wall just to stay right on top of this one, and Ricky can't stay with him. Out of position, out of boost, and now out of luck as he goes one goal down again with not a lot of time left in the game. It's been a medium scoring game, but not that many quick goals after kickoffs. You usually have to make an effort or two, and Firstkiller just watches another bump fly over the top of him, and he'll walk in his 7th goal. That was all too easy. Ricky didn't get enough height on the pop to really force Firstkiller to jump. I mean, if the ball's bouncing before the line, you're not going to have as much success with the air dribble bumps. Great flick by Ricky. Didn't need a lot of boost for that one. And he's keeping it interesting with 20 seconds to go. He is back within 1 goal. Firstkiller going on the inside, but flipping left, so the ball will go away from him, and Ricky has another chance to tie this one up. Firstkiller closes the gap, threatens a bump, but actually, oh my goodness, what a recovery! Ricky's the one who's bumping him. Firstkiller rolled with the punches and ended up taking the boost to the back corner. Ricky now completely out of time. Can he keep this one alive? Firstkiller's not going to let him. And that's a pretty good closing screen there to finish off the game. Firstkiller taking it 7 goals to 6. But you can definitely see that Ricky is putting Firstkiller in difficult positions. And that air dribble bump, had it been executed a little bit higher, had Ricky popped the air dribble bump just to the top shelf of the net before trying to bump Firstkiller, maybe we would have had a different result here. But let's get into the second game, see if Firstkiller can start to get a bit more control of the game, because he's won this one while being on the back foot for the majority. So we head to DFH for the second game in this video. Remember, this is the now 4th game these two played in this session, with Firstkiller taking 2 games out of 3. It's worth mentioning, I suppose, that he took the first game they played, and Ricky won the second one. Now Firstkiller's won the third. Here's game number 4. And since I know somebody's probably going to ask, why didn't I cast all the games? Well, you might hear in my voice today that my throat is not 100%. What a save by Ricky here. Firstkiller's probably going to get a goal anyway, but not before Ricky makes him work for it. But yeah, maybe we'll go back and take a look at some of the other games that Firstkiller and Ricky have played in the coming days, if you guys want to see them, because this is definitely an interesting matchup. It's a clash of styles, and it comes down to who's going to execute their game plan and be more comfortable dealing with the other player's game plan when you do have a clash of styles like this. Oh my goodness, Firstkiller confidently slams a top corner rebound in, and you can see that Ricky did not expect him to go for this. He decided that it was going to be far too risky of a shot for Firstkiller to go for, and waited for the ball to come back down to him. But Firstkiller is extremely good at reading those kind of positions. Now Ricky, slow takeoff, absolutely annihilated by Firstkiller, who is running away with this one. And you can call goal number 1 just pressure from Firstkiller, but that second goal must be a statement. And I think Ricky's realised that Firstkiller's coming out with a bit more pace in this game, and he'll need to step it up if he's going to have it under control. Double reset attempted, but Ricky left so much work to do after the first one that he couldn't get back to the ball. And now he's back in his own corner. Firstkiller concedes possession to him, but this is something Firstkiller does on occasion. He's going to sit back in net and see what Ricky's got, and now he might regret that because Ricky has made another one of those pops on target, and this time did not fly too high over Firstkiller while attempting to bump him. I wonder if Firstkiller will... I think he will keep backing up every now and then, just giving Ricky a run at him, but yeah, I don't think it's the predominant strategy when you play against Ricky. You don't want to give him space, but Firstkiller is going to get a goal similar. Oh, is he? No, he's missed it. Well, he should have had a goal similar, and now he gets it, but what is going on here? Just when you thought Firstkiller is going to get another rebound to the top right corner, the ball bounces across the net, and he ends up getting a goal more similar to another that he scored this game, where Ricky's just not ready for him to advance. Air double dunk by Ricky, denied by Firstkiller, and Firstkiller will single jump that one into the bar and then into the net with ease. Obviously a slight risk, because had Firstkiller hit the underside of the crossbar here, it might bounce into a position he's not reading, but we all know that Firstkiller will read 99.9% of bounces from that kind of range, so it's as easy as an open net for this guy. A clear pace advantage for Firstkiller in this game, and a clear power advantage in both games. Ricky has been trying to finesse him. He's been trying to mind game Firstkiller for most of his plays. Firstkiller is just brute forcing, as he often has in the past, against even the most mechanical opposition. And you know, we've not seen him in competition, we've not seen him in show matches for a long time, but it is always apparent whenever Firstkiller dips his toes in the ones arena that he still has what it takes to compete with the best in the world. And Ricky, trailing by 4, just wants a chance to bounce a dribble at him, and here it comes. But look at Firstkiller's position there. He's just going forward a little bit to force Ricky to think twice, and Ricky does really well anyway not to panic when Firstkiller got that close to him with the fake challenge. Ricky kept his composure and just lofts the ball into the top left of the goal, while also covering Firstkiller's saving angle, so the diving save was not going to work. Oh my goodness, what a save by Ricky! Double touch off the inside of his own post after a pre-flip. Firstkiller still on the hunt for more goals, despite the strong lead that he's already accumulated, but Ricky's chipping away at it. Now it's only 2. And it just shows you how much damage Ricky can do if you give him space to come at you. I mean, Firstkiller's one of the best shadowing defenders in the world, but Ricky's got past him 3 times now, and every single one of those times Firstkiller's been retreating. He's been giving that space. Now here he is again. He's backing off. Can Ricky get past him another time? Yes, he can. It's off the bar. Firstkiller bumps Ricky to deny the open net, but Ricky is having a lot of fun going against Firstkiller's shadowing, and I think that was a bit on the lucky side for Firstkiller that the crossbar saved him. He's had a great game for the crossbars. It was kind to him at Ricky's end when the ball bounced off into a position he could rebound. Now it's kind to him as it bounces down off his net. Boost control for Firstkiller, pristine, as he perfectly gets around the ball. Oh, that's an absolutely brilliant goal, and it's gonna get a forfeit out of Ricky as well, and I don't blame him. He has now lost at this point 3 games out of 4. Well, 2 games out of 3, and he's losing the 4th one. But look at the control by Firstkiller. We need to see this again from Ricky's POV. Firstkiller does a full 360-degree turn around the ball and then chips it into that top corner. One more time, please. After successfully mind-gaming Ricky, who actually went for the corner boost. Just really hoping that Firstkiller would miss. It's quite an interesting exchange, because he's completely out boost, gets faked, goes for the corner boost, expecting Firstkiller to score, realizes, wait a minute, he's not scored, maybe I could do something, and gets scored on anyway. It's a real roller coaster of emotions there for Ricky. That is a very well executed turn. Even had to do a little brake check afterwards, or reverse into position to get the ball rolling up on top of his car. Yeah, you could just watch that all day. Firstkiller taking down Ricky with a more one-sided scoreline here. He just went for it in offense a bit more, and he does have a clear pace advantage. He's so confident with his rebounds and his aerial play as well. I think Ricky definitely has to take the second or the silver medal in those categories. Still such a deadly player, such a dangerous player when he's got a run at you. He's got the bounce dribbles, he's got the shots, he's got the flicks, he's got the air dribble bumps. Definitely the full package when it comes to the ground game, albeit a little bit on the slower side. And I would like to see, on occasion, a bit more urgency from Ricky when he's attacking, just to switch up the pace a little bit. Look at this from Firstkiller. He just expects Ricky to leave it because it's an awkward it's definitely an awkward rebound. Ricky at this point knows that Firstkiller has used a ton of boost. Let's look at Ricky's POV here. He steals away Firstkiller's back corner boost. That's the first thing to notice. So he's well aware that going into this shot, Firstkiller probably won't be on full boost. And then he knows that Firstkiller didn't pick up the mid boost, and he's even boosting to recover. So Ricky's probably got Firstkiller on maximum 20 boosts here. And Firstkiller is actually on 11, although he does, I think, land on one of the boost pads. So Ricky, I think, read Firstkiller's boost perfectly, but he just didn't think Firstkiller would actually go for this shot with only 20 or so boosts available to him. Of course, Firstkiller, so confident, just sticks it in off the top corner for good measure, and I think that's a big goal in this game, a big difference from what we saw in the previous game that we watched between these two, where Firstkiller was retreating from those kind of positions, just giving Ricky the full field to dribble with and see what kind of counter-attack he could establish off Ricky's offense. Not this game. Firstkiller clinical, Firstkiller very aggressive in the final third. But that's all we got time for today. If you guys want to see more of these games, more games between these two players, or between them and other players that they've played against recently, then do let me know in the comments. But I'm definitely hoping that we can see Firstkiller in the ones competitive scene soon. He is absolutely entertaining to watch as ever, and definitely still up there with the absolute best in the region and indeed the world, because Ricky at the moment is one of the most successful and on form ones show match players. But anyway, have a great rest of your day or night, guys, wherever you are. Thanks for watching as always, and I'll see you in the next one.